Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production. And today, what I want to do is show you how you can use the multiband plugins from Melda dynamically and change your sound kind of radically while you're actually playing or in the middle of a line very quickly. And this can add some kind of movement and a kind of human element to what you're playing. So let's get started. I'm going to use M delay, MB, but this can be done with like M chorus, M turbo reverb, MB, etc. Any of the MB or multiband plugins can do this. So I'm going to use a guitar sound for this. The guitar sound I have is just this. So there we go. And what we're going to do is I'll first just set up kind of basic delay sound in M delay, MB. Let's do classic here. Boom. Because of that, I can turn the feedback down. Don't need that. Let's try delay around like 46. Turn the right up a little bit. Get a little bit of stereo. Let's turn this wet down to, let's say, 50%. Okay. And let's move this high pass filter up here, low pass filter down, just so we're getting something a little bit more subtle. So I think that's really subtle. Sometimes you want that on your guitar sound or maybe your vocal sound. I like that. It's not like a really prominent delay, but it just adds a little bit of space. But sometimes you want a long and kind of noticeable delay, like a delay throw. So let's add that on another channel. And we're going to use the level multiband split here. So we're going to right click this. We're going to insert another channel to the right. Boom, here. So now we have what we had before on the left in band 1, and then we have band 2. I don't want this split here. So you see how this is split by frequency? We don't want that. What we want to do is right click and we want it to be split by level. And you're probably thinking like, what is this? Okay. So this one is usually used for, I guess, the level, like in volume level, but you actually don't have to use it that way. And we're not going to be using it that way here. So if I have it all the way to the left, it's going to be in band 1 and it's going to play this. If I move it all the way to the right, now it's going to be playing stuff from band 2. It sounds like this. So we already had band 1 the way we like it, so we're going to work on band 2 now. I'm going to go back to band 1. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into band 2, so it's very similar. But I'm just going to turn this up so it's a little bit more prominent here in the high end. And then I'm going to turn on tap 2. And we're going to make a longer delay. Instead of doing it in milliseconds, let's sync this up. Should I do it in... Yeah, I'll do it in eighth notes, I guess. Can I do dotted eighth notes? Now I'll turn this feedback up. And let's make this a little bit more stereo, like this. So now we have 2 different delay sounds. We have the first one and the second one. Now we want to switch in between them dynamically. So the way we can do this is we can go into one of these mods here, make sure it's on, and then we're going to set up the level here. So now it's working on this dry signal. I definitely don't want it to do that. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to click clear. Oh, sorry, not that. Click clear and learn, and then just move this level up and down. And you see that is moving our level detector. Turn it off. And then we're going to turn on this mod 1 like this. Boom. So now if I play it when it's in band 1, you'll get the first sound like this. So you see it's switching between them. And that's what we want. But the problem I'm having with it is like, I really don't want it to like move in an LFO shape. What's the point of that? So the first thing we can do here is I'm going to take this sync and I'm just going to use it and sync it up. Make sure the phase is at 0 so it starts there. I want it to be 1 bar long. So click 1 there. And I don't want this LFO shape. I don't need a sine wave shape. I'm going to move it to a step sequencer like this. And what we're going to do is just have it so it's going to be on that band 1 here for most of the bar, and then at the last beat, that last quarter note, it's going to turn to band 2. And we can do it like this, go into our step sequencer. Instead of 8 steps, which would be eighth notes, we're going to change it to 4 steps. Move these 4 all the way to the bottom, so that's band 1, and then the 4th one is going to go all the way to the top, and that's going to turn on band 2. So play it. So you see it's turning on like that, and I have some drums here, so I'll have it play so you can kind of hear what it sounds like or something you could do if you wanted to. So here we go. So you heard just in that last note or beat of the bar, it's turning on. So that's one way you could do it. And instead of doing it for, the length of 1, I could do this for 4. So now it'd be like, okay, a whole bar, maybe the 4th bar would turn on this delay if you wanted to. And that's another way you can do it. But I'm going to show you one more way that you don't even need to use this modulator if you just want to control this manually. So let's say I don't want to use any kind of LFO step sequencer, etc. I want to do this using a MIDI controller. So I have a MIDI controller here next to me. Unfortunately, it's using my left foot. At least I need to do that while I'm talking to you here into the microphone. So it's a little bit awkward, but hopefully you'll bear with me. What we need to do is set the MIDI and have it go into delay. So this will depend on your DAW, but in Reaper I can just drag it over here and it will send the MIDI in. Normally I would turn this audio off like this, but there's no audio coming through here, so it really doesn't matter, but I did it anyways. But all our MIDI is going to come in to delay MB. So now what we need to do is we're going to click here so we can see this level. We're going to click on MIDI in here. If you can't see this, you're like, where is this? Make sure you just go here in toolbar to expand it. Click MIDI. Now we're going to click learn and we're going to move this level. Turn it off and you should see here it says level crossover value. But it's being controlled by the mod wheel. So if I was using a keyboard, this might be good, but we're not. So what I want to do is I want my MIDI pedal to control this. So I'm going to click learn and I'm going to just press down my MIDI pedal and it should learn, what MIDI CC that's using. Like this. Learn, MIDI pedal, okay. Then just take learn off and now my pedal is controlling it. Not very well because I'm using the wrong foot and I have an armrest here kind of in my way, but you get the idea. So I could do something like that again. And you hear I can play any type of run or notes, and then at the last note, if I want to, I can just push my pedal down and turn that on. And so that gives me that stereo with those repeats, etc., and I can use that as a delay throw. And of course here I'm controlling it with my foot, but you could also draw this in if you want to as well and use this as a traditional delay throw. But here, since I'm using it with my foot, I can control it dynamically. I guess if I had a wind controller, I could also, control it with my mouth or something like that. But there's lots of ways you can do this, and I could even use one of these mods and use like the envelope, follower, pitch, etc. to kind of control this as well, which might be interesting, and maybe I'll show that in a future video. But hopefully this gave you an idea of something you could do with this. And it's not just good for delay throws either. Be creative. Try using this with maybe M chorus, MB, or M turbo reverb, MB. The sky's the limit. Whatever you can think of, you can probably come up with something much more interesting and creative than I can. So hopefully you found this interesting. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below, and be sure to check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Until next time, see you.